Okay. Okay, you guys want the rant? Here comes the rant. Hang on. We're going to do a rant. So, this patch has been out for a while. For a few days. I actually finished my climb to Masters on this patch. But I'm still getting a lot of people just like complaining about the meta, complaining about the meta. And it's really frustrating. I think part of it is because they listen to a certain very popular streamer who says there's only 2 comps to play. And it's really, really frustrating because I believe the meta is good. And so let's find out if the meta is good or not. And I want to kind of break it down here. Where the hell is the team builder? Database. Where's the team builder? Resort. Does anybody know where the frick the team builder is? Why can't I not see it? Team builder. Found it. Great. Okay. So, we're just going to go through the champions and talk about which champions. Please use tactics.tools. Fine, I'll switch. Tactics.tools. Team builder. You're right. It's probably clearer to see. Whatever. And here, I'll make it bigger for you. Okay. Let's talk about which comps are doing well. Clearly, we know Lagoon Sohm is doing well. So we know Sohm's good. Fine. Sohm Mage is doing great. What else do we know is doing good? We know Mage Namzi's doing well. So Namzi's doing well. Zaya's doing great. Cool. Zaya's doing good. Cool. We know Ao Shen's doing well. Right. We know Shyvana's part of Guild Zaya, so Shyvana's doing well. We know Deja's doing well. Where's Deja at? So Deja's doing well. Yasuo's doing well. Cool. We know the Seraphine comp's doing well. So that's Seraphine. That's Pantheon. That's Graves. Hecarim's doing well in this comp. Jace is doing well. Cool. So already in our 5 and 4 costs... Oh yeah, Zyra's part of it for sure, but hang on, we'll get there. So already in our 5 and 4 costs, Zoe's doing well as part of Mage. This is doing well as part of Ao Shen. Soraka's just a good unit. Bard's a good unit. So of our 5 costs, you could maybe argue Aurelion Sol's bad. Maybe. I don't believe it, but cool. So maybe Aurelion Sol's weak. On the 4 cost side, Siphon, maybe a little weak. Cool. Swain, yeah, maybe. So cool. Otherwise, Psalm's good. This is good. Shioyu is probably the most debatable one. I think a lot of people are saying Shioyu is bad, but the reality is Shioyu is not bad. Has one of the highest top 4 rates. Rank 1, Korea played it. It does really well. So if we buff it, we'd have to be really, really careful. So Soya is good. So I just don't agree with you there. Neela, also good in many comps. So Neela's fine. So in our 4 cost bucket, we have maybe Siphon, who, God, do we really have to buff it? Swain, sure. Otherwise, every other 4 cost is good. Idis is just a good tank. It's fine. Is there a quick way to reset this? Clear board. Great. So in 5 and 4 costs, we listed Aurelion Sol is maybe a little weak. Siphon and Swain is maybe a little weak. Cool. So I guess if anything, it's better to go like this, right? So there's our kind of weak. On the 3 cost side, Zippy. Zippy is strong. Zippy is great. Mid-game, 3 cost, what it's supposed to be. Volibear, you could maybe argue is weak. Maybe. Zeri is the one I think, like, Zeri's garbage. Varus, secretly wildly OP. Doesn't need to be buffed. Silas, doing great. If you nerf mages, maybe you buff Silas, but doing great right now. We already talked about Seraphine. We've seen Rengar do well today. I don't think Rengar needs buffs. Rakan's wildly OP. Olaf is great. Nunu, do we really want to see Nunu buffs? Probably not. Nunu's doing great. Namzi's doing fine. We already talked about that. Lee Sin's doing good. Diana, I've already been showing you is good. So in 3 costs, we have 2 whole champions, maybe weak. And so, like, endgame, it's not gonna get a ton better. Like, buffing Swain and Siphon isn't gonna radically change the meta, right? Like, this is the meta. It's good. Almost every unit is viable. So, like, what's your problem? The problem is you. Because there's so many good comps right now. Those are units, not comps? well, obviously, you build comps around the units. Any comp is built, you build the champion and you go from that. And so, if you're losing, there are plenty of options. And I could even go into 2 costs. Kai'Sa's secretly super good. Lux is obviously good. Qiyana's a utility champion. She's not supposed to be a carry. Rel is good. Like, all of these champions are good. If in the 2-cost bucket, you could argue maybe a Gnar buff. Maybe. Lilia certainly doesn't need buffed. Maybe. On the 1-cost side, I don't see anything that needs buffed on the 1-cost side. Maybe Wukong, but we just buffed it, so I kind of doubt it. So, like, all of these champions are so good. All of the comps built around them are so good. And even to prove that point, someone just said, those are traits, not comps. Let's oversimplify this. Let's go down to traits. I just want all the traits. Info. Where do you get a list of the traits? This is one where Mobalytics would be better. If I could type in Mobalytics. Database. No, yeah, but that lists them all the breakpoints. What I want is this. Okay, Assassin. I think right now the perception is Assassin is weak. Though I'm telling you it works in really good cases. That's probably where we want Assassin. Bruiser. You could argue that 6 and 8 Bruiser are a joke. Fine. That's like the one I'll give you. Bruiser is bad. Cannoneer. We've already seen Cannoneer meta. You could argue they're a teeny tiny weak right now, but honestly they're still playable. I know I've seen Milk win with it, so Cannoneers are fine. Cavs are great. No argument there. Dragonmancer, still good. Whether you have Nunu or not, Dragonmancer's good. Evoker, good. Guardian, good. Mage, probably too good. Mystic, good. Monolith, good. Prodigy, fine. Shapeshifter, good in the right cases. All of these are good. Swift Shot. This is another one you could maybe argue is that like 5 Swift Shots bad. Maybe. Warrior's good. Astral. If you listen to the Challenger players, Astral's OP. So Astral's fine. And we've seen it both as the splash early and as the late game comp. Yeah, Astral is quite strong. Darkflight, again, this is one maybe we could talk about because of Swain. Swain being the anchor here is really rough. 4 Dragon we know is good. Guild is good. Jade is hard to play, but is good. Lagoon, good. Mirage, good. Pretty much every variation except like 1. Ragewing, good. Scale Scorn, good. Shimmer Scale, maybe you could argue Shimmer Scale's a little weak. Maybe. But we also know when that's insane, it's insane. Tempest is just hard to play. Nothing's going to change that. We can't buff it more. Do we really want to see 6 Tempest Ao Shen be insta-win? Probably not. And Whispers is fine. Like, the meta's pretty damn good. And so, I don't know. So when people are still complaining, I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, this is a dang good meta. So, there you go. There's my rant. That's my... I'm tired of people whining. See you on TFT clips.